testimony to the fact that our teachers are determined to ensure a credible examination in our schools. I congratulate all of them and encourage them to keep up with the good spirit as per the Code of Regulation for Teachers. As a commission, we will recognize and reward those who excelled in the process in line with the performance recognition, reward, and sanctions policy. Ladies and gentlemen, during the 2020 examinations, we rewarded 30 teachers who stood out in various aspects of KCPE and KCSE administration, some of whom even received awards under the presidential reward system, and we want to thank the president for rewarding our teachers. It acts as a motivation. On the same note, the TSC will act firmly and expeditiously on those teachers who will be found guilty of aiding in examination irregularities. And so, as a commission, we are waiting for the minister to release the examinations, and the KNEC should tell us if any of our teachers was actually involved in any irregularities, and we shall take firm action on them. As we have said in the past, as a commission, we will not allow a few teachers to mar the good name of the teaching service. As a commission, we thank the government for funding resources to allow us to recruit an average of 5,000 teachers annually for our public schools. However, we still have a shortage of 114,581 teachers in primary and post-primary institutions due to the increased enrollment arising from the 100% transition policy and registration of new schools. Despite the shortage, the Commission continues to ensure prudent utilization of the existing teachers in both primary and secondary schools. From time to time, we have had to review staffing placements to ensure no part of our country is disadvantaged in terms of sharing the limited teaching resources. And in line with this, the Commission will shortly be asking our field officers to do a routine exercise of assessing their sub-counties to ensure that all schools have balanced teacher-to-learner ratios ahead of the start of the new academic calendar year. So arising from this, any movements conducted at the local areas must have a human face and must be well discussed with all relevant offices to ensure equity for all of our learners in tandem with the existing staffing norms. We intend to conclude this staff balancing exercise by May 9th of 2022. Lastly, the TSC has continued to prepare all teachers for the phased implementation of CBC. So far, we have consistently ensured that relevant teachers were trained for all levels, including grade 6, which will be covered starting next month. The total of teachers trained in CBC in the last 3 years is 292 teachers. I now wish to announce that the Commission has planned the training of 60,000 teachers in April for juniors, to prepare teachers for the junior secondary schools in CBC and competency-based assessment with effect from the 25th of April, immediately after the completion of the marking of the KCSE exams. The training will adopt a phased or cascade model of training that will start at the national level to the county and sub-county levels. Teachers will be trained in specific learning areas in languages, pure sciences, applied sciences, mathematics, humanities, and technical subjects. And the training will involve special needs education teachers. It will also involve private schools to prepare our teachers for junior secondary. In conclusion, I once again thank all our teachers for their selfless efforts in preparing the candidates for the KCPE examinations and wish them well as we continue with the current examinations and even preparing our students for the December examinations, God willing that we shall still conduct. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. As I indicated earlier, we are trying to make this as brief as possible because we still have examinations going on, and also not to, reduce the anxiety of our candidates. Now, I'm informed that we have a representative from the Kenya Private Schools Association, Mr. Bande Simon, wherever you are. Oh, thank you very much for coming. I think at this stage, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to have the privilege to invite our Cabinet Secretary, Professor George Magoha, to come and address us and the country, and then release the results for KCPE 2021. Karibu sana waziri.
I will do it the way I want. God is good and all the time. I just would like to recognize my CS, Dr. Sarah Ruto, who is here in spirit because she has lost her father, and the rest of the protocol is as observed by the Principal Secretary. My statement to the country: one, it is the last examination which is being released under the Jubilee administration of His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta, a regime that has seen a 6-year run of the most clean and flawless national examination campaigns that have restored the integrity and credibility of our national certification system. Two, these KCPE examination results were three. I therefore am very proud and thankful to the Lord and His Excellency the President to have allowed me to serve for the last 6 years, 3 as Cabinet Secretary, and incidentally, very strangely, the longest Cabinet Secretary in the Ministry of Education under the Jubilee administration, and the other 3 years as Chair of the Kenya National Examination Council. I cannot take this for granted. This opportunity for granted. I am aware that there are very many other better qualified people. And I think His Excellency the President alone knows why he dared to select me to do this job. As I prepare to hand over the basic education mantle to my successor, which only God knows, I am proud of my record, and I remain confident that the lady or gentleman who will come after me will find a comfortable place to continue from. That is not to say that Jogo House is a place that We have done everything possible to midwife the transition. Have been prepared and distributed to all public schools. As you have heard from the Teacher Service Commission CEO, Dr. Macharia, all relevant teachers of His Excellency who CBC Pioneer class under the first phase at the cost of 5.123 billion shillings. The most important thing to note here is that each of these classrooms has costed only 788,000 shillings. So we must start asking ourselves, whether we like it or not, where has the 426,000 shillings extra been going to? Because most of the classrooms before this were constructed at 1.26 million. So we must give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar. And I want to thank the President for being firm on us, saying that he was of the considered opinion that 788,000 can construct classrooms. I'm saying they are all completed because the few that are not complete are either at walling or roofing stage, and my team and I shall ensure that they are complete before the end of the exams. And then we shall embark on the phase 2 of the program, which is the balance of 3,503 classrooms. In fact, this morning I asked His Excellency the President to provide money for this, and the answer was in the affirmative. So before we leave office, ladies and gentlemen, whether anybody likes it or not, we shall have constructed 10,000 classrooms at 788,000 shillings each. And I think this should be a blueprint, and I want to ask members of the fourth estate to be making noise about this. If you are saying the same classes we are constructing at 788, where are you taking the balance of the money? I think Kenya is not a poor country. It is just that it has no good workers. There are many jobs, but there are no workers in Kenya. Are we together here? Because people work for their pockets. And I've just remembered, I want to recognize just one person. Yusuf, stand up so that they can see you. Everybody forgets about this young boy here, called Yusuf. The fact that we were able to mark these exams quickly and on time, he's the last in the chain. So let's not judge people from where they are. But there are times he was sleeping at 4:30, and by 7:30 he's here. And we are now releasing the results. And you have seen all my leaders have forgotten him. I will not forget him. Thank you. All these preparations, ladies and gentlemen, that my successor will find a good script to follow. Implementation, but I want to the competency-based assessment. As I already said before, the first grade 6 assessment is set to be administered in December of this year. It's expected that this national assessment will account for 40% of the candidate's final mark, while the remaining 60% will have come from the classroom scores from school-based assessments of grade 4, 5, and 6, and heavily reduce incentives for cheating in examinations and for the avoidance of doubt. Even this examination I'm presenting you did not leak. Many of you would have hoped that it leaked so that you can provide things we are going to write about, but unfortunately it did not leak. I also wish our examination process until the CBC is fully grounded. The administration of the December 22 examination will effectively mark the end of the rearranged academic and ending in November of each year. I wish to thank the stakeholders, starting with the parents, the learners, and the teachers. But above all, I want to thank His Excellency the President for being bold enough to bite the bullets when everybody was singing the opposite song. I think in leadership, what I've learned from President Kenyan is one thing, that decision-making process is perhaps the most important aspect of leadership. So we made a decision to bite the comprise a myriad of chapters, and you can take that to the bank because it's not about politics. You can actually measure what has been done. The multi-agency examination administration, the successful administration of this exam, the late General Kaiseri, who together with Fred Matiang'i to work at another level, and we have continued